Young and the Restless next week. Jack rages at Billy's betrayal. Explosive Abbott brothers war ignites. We're going to talk about Jack and Billy, this risky move that Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, is making, plus Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, and Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, possibly facing a setback in their Newman takeover. And now, let's get into the latest YandR spoilers for the week of January 19th. Nick Newman's risky move to secure Matt Clark on Young and the Restless. Let's start with Nick's big risk before we touch on the Abbott drama. At the end of this week, Jack is frankly stunned when Nick shows up hobbling on crutches at the door of the Abbott mansion. He tells Jack he's there to save his family, to save the Newmans. Jack is shocked to see Nick out of the hospital, and Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, is there and shocked as well. Nick just had major surgery because Matt Clark, Roger Howarth, caused that car crash. Of course, Nick should not be out of the hospital, but there he is, and he's determined to convince Jack to hand over Matt to him. Basically, Nick can't rest until he knows that Matt is securely locked away so he can't hurt the family: Noah Newman, Lucas Adams, Sienna Bacall, Tamara Braun, Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, or anybody else. Jack tells Nick that is what he was trying to negotiate with Victor Newman, Eric Braden. Jack wanted to exchange Matt for the AI. Then Jack reassures Nick that he's holding Matt in a very secure place, but that's not enough for Nick. He wants Jack to hand him over. Jack tells Nick that unless Victor gives them the AI to destroy, he's not going to give them Matt. That's their leverage. Jack and Kyle confronted with a dangerous warning on YandR. Nick tells Jack that first of all, he doesn't know what he's getting into with Matt. The guy is truly dangerous. And Nick also reassures Jack that Jabot is not on Victor's radar because there's so much trouble going on at Newman because of the AI. Nick is worried that Matt will get loose and go after the Newmans, and he tells Jack that Harrison Locke, Redding Munsell, Jack's grandson Kyle's son, could be at risk as well. That bombshell seems to be what gets Jack and Kyle's attention. Jack says, Victor could have ended all this, but he wouldn't listen. Kyle wants to take Nick back to the hospital because he's looking pretty rough. We know he's pounding painkillers by the handful. Then Nick offers Jack the same deal he asked from Victor. Nick says that if Jack hands Matt over to him, he will personally ensure that Jabot is protected and that Victor doesn't target them. In the end, Jack didn't really want to keep Matt anyway. Jack agrees to hand over Matt to Nick and Kyle supports that. Noah Newman discovers a bound Matt Clark on Young and the Restless. Nick heads to Sharon's to pick up some rope and towels. Noah goes out and sees that Matt is unconscious, bound, and gagged in the trunk of Nick's car. Noah demands an explanation, and Nick says he's not going to turn Matt over to the cops. Nick is basically worried Matt will end up a free man, escape, or somehow get himself out of the charges. Noah wants to know exactly what Nick plans to do with Matt, and we're going to pick up with that action next week. YandR spoilers have Noah continuing to confront Nick and demand answers. He's telling his dad he's worried. What Noah and Nick don't realize is that Sienna, Matt's wife, is lurking and eavesdropping when Noah asks if Nick is going to kill Matt. Next week, Nick tells Noah that Matt needs to disappear permanently. Nick says that nobody is going to talk him out of it. I just don't think Matt's going to be taken down that easily and that fast. And I expect that he will be back to terrorizing the Newmans and possibly the Abbotts during February sweeps, which runs from January 29th to February 25th. I would be stunned if they killed off a major villain before sweeps started. Also, given the fact that Nick is in pain, on crutches, on drugs, and as hot-headed and violent as he can be, he's in no physical condition to be brawling. Matt could take Nick down and escape. Billy Abbott and Sally Spectra's Chancellor conflict on YandR. Now let's talk about the Abbott antics. At the end of this week, Billy is having a contentious conversation with Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope. She knows that Billy is keeping more secrets, and he finally admits to Sally that he met with Kane and offered to give him Chancellor. With Phyllis and Kane in control of Newman Enterprises, Billy can have the company back. We all know that Billy is still angry that his mom, Jill Abbott, Jess Walton, sold Chancellor to Victor and he's still not on good terms with her. But Sally is irritated because she and Billy just launched AbbottCom. She's wondering what he needs Chancellor for. He's making all these promises, but Sally doesn't buy it. She feels ridiculous because she trusted Billy while he's been plotting behind her back. Jack Abbott blasts Billy over Kane and Phyllis alliance. Sally thinks Billy is lying to her and to himself. Billy insists he hasn't given Kane an answer yet. Sally understands why Kane wants revenge on Victor, but not why he's offering to just give Chancellor to Billy. Plus, Sally's also really worried that if Billy takes Chancellor, then Victor will turn around and come after Billy again. He tells Sally that Victor is going to come after him anyway, so he might as well get Chancellor, which is what he wants. By the end of this week, Sally finally tells Billy if he says yes Kane and takes Chancellor, she's not going to be happy. It looks like Sally might be ready to walk out over this. Jack flips on Billy. It also looks like Billy may lose more than Sally. He may lose his big brother as well. Young and the Restless spoilers confirm that Billy winds up arguing with Jack, and I'm sure it's about Chancellor and about Kane. We're going to see Billy insisting to Jack that he is not taking advantage of anyone, but Jack says, "Sure as hell seems that way." It looks like Billy tells Jack about the offer he got from Kane, but it also seems like Jack's of the same mind as Sally on this. Jack isn't happy about it one bit. From his perspective, Billy's making a deal with Kane, whose AI is causing misery. Plus, Jack doesn't trust that Kane and Phyllis won't turn the AI on Jabot once they're done ransacking Newman Enterprises. That means Billy is throwing in with people that may potentially be attacking Jack and the other Abbotts. He's not going to sit still for that. Speaking of those two, YandR spoilers for next week have Kane telling Phyllis that Newman Enterprises and all of its subsidiaries are pretty much theirs. They just have to rip the Band-Aid off and take control of the company. Victoria Newman fights back against the Newman takeover on Young and the Restless. That's when Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, shows up to the Kane train and says, "Over her dead body." Obviously, Victoria is not going to give up without a fight. It looks like she'll try and negotiate with Kane and Phyllis, or somehow reason with them, or talk them down. Victor failed already. Nick failed already. I don't know what Victoria can offer to stop them. She may try bargaining. She may try threats. Maybe she tells Kane that Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, will never forgive him. But I think Kane already knows she won't forgive him anyway. So, we'll see if Victoria is able to throw a wrench into Kane and Phyllis's plans. Be sure to check back for our full weekly spoilers video for the week of January 19th. Next week on The Young and the Restless, chaos is about to erupt in Genoa City as the Abbott family implodes from within. Tensions that have been simmering for months finally reach a boiling point, and viewers are in for a dramatic edge-of-your-seat showdown between two of the city's most powerful brothers, Jack and Billy Abbott. What starts as a family dispute quickly spirals into a high-stakes war that could have lasting consequences for the Abbotts, Newman Enterprises, and the entire city. The drama ignites when Jack Abbott, the proud and calculating CEO, discovers that Billy has made a bold move that goes directly against his orders. After months of trying to keep the Abbott legacy intact, Jack's carefully constructed plans are thrown into disarray by his younger brother's impulsive actions. Fans know that Jack thrives on control and seeing his authority challenged, especially by someone he considers family, will send him into a rage that few have witnessed before. Billy's betrayal is as personal as it is professional. In a shocking twist, Billy aligns himself with a rival business figure who has long been a thorn in Jack's side. While the city thought Billy was loyal to the family empire, his secret maneuver threatens to undermine Jack's strategy and put Abbott Enterprises in jeopardy. The audacity of Billy's choice is breathtaking, and it instantly fractures the fragile peace between the brothers. Jack, who has always prided himself on being the protector of the family legacy, is blindsided, and the fury is palpable. Viewers can expect explosive confrontations as the Abbott brothers face off. One tense scene shows Jack storming into Billy's office, voice shaking with anger, demanding answers for what he considers a betrayal of the highest order. Billy, unapologetic and stubborn as ever, refuses to back down, claiming he acted in the family's best interest, even if it meant going against Jack. The verbal duel that ensues is filled with biting insults, accusations, and years of unresolved tension coming to the surface. It's a confrontation fans will talk about for weeks. The ripple effects of this conflict extend far beyond the Abbott family. As the brothers clash, other Genoa City power players begin to take sides. Victor Newman, ever the opportunist, sees a chance to exploit the fracture for his own gain, subtly stoking the fire between the siblings. Meanwhile, Lily Winters, caught in the middle, struggles to mediate as loyalties are tested. The city watches nervously as alliances shift and secrets threaten to explode in everyone's faces. Next week's episodes also explore the personal toll of the feud. Jack, driven by pride and anger, risks alienating those closest to him, including his daughter and longtime allies. Meanwhile, Billy wrestles with guilt, knowing his actions could have unintended consequences for the family he loves, even as he maintains that he's doing what's necessary. The emotional stakes are as high as the business stakes, giving viewers a powerful blend of tension, drama, and heartbreak. The brothers' rivalry reaches a dramatic climax during a heated boardroom showdown. Jack, armed with evidence of Billy's collusion with the rival, publicly confronts him in front of the company's top executives. Billy, refusing to be intimidated, counters with his own revelations, secrets that Jack never anticipated. The confrontation is not just a clash of business strategies. It's a war of pride, principles, and long-standing resentments. Every word, every glance, every accusation adds fuel to the inferno, leaving viewers breathless as the Abbott family teeters on the brink of total collapse. But the explosive drama doesn't stop there. Behind the scenes, additional schemers lurk, ready to take advantage of the chaos. A mysterious figure with a vendetta against the Abbotts sees the perfect opportunity to strike, setting the stage for betrayals that could change Genoa City forever. The stage is set for an intense week of plot twists, with shocking surprises waiting around every corner. Fans can expect shocking alliances, unexpected confrontations, and twists that will leave them questioning who can truly be trusted. In addition to the high-stakes corporate battle, the personal dynamics between the brothers add an emotional layer to the story. Jack's temper and need for control are tested like never before, while Billy's loyalty and moral compass are pushed to their limits. Their relationship, once defined by camaraderie and shared ambition, now teeters on the edge of irreparable damage. This is not just a business dispute. It's a battle that threatens to shatter a family, leaving viewers emotionally invested in every scene. The fallout from this explosive Abbott brothers' war promises to reverberate throughout Genoa City for months. As Jack and Billy continue their battle, viewers can expect other characters to be drawn into the conflict, whether by choice or by circumstance. Alliances will be tested, loyalties questioned, and secrets revealed, creating a domino effect that affects everyone connected to the Abbott family. The question on everyone's mind: can the brothers find common ground, or is this the beginning of a permanent rift that will redefine the Abbott legacy forever? Next week, The Young and the Restless delivers the perfect blend of high-stakes business drama and personal conflict. Fans will witness Jack's fury, Billy's defiance, and the tension-filled interactions that make the show a must-watch. The Abbott brothers' feud is a masterclass in soap opera storytelling, emotional, complex, and unpredictable. It's a storyline that blends corporate intrigue with familial loyalty, ensuring that viewers are hooked from start to finish. As the week unfolds, every episode promises shocking twists, emotional confrontations, and dramatic cliffhangers. The Abbott brothers' feud will not only test their relationship, but also challenge their moral compasses and strategic thinking. Whether viewers are Team Jack or Team Billy, one thing is certain. The battle lines have been drawn, and Genoa City will never be the same again. Fans are advised to tune in every day next week for this unmissable storyline. The combination of betrayal, tension, and high drama ensures that this is one of the most gripping Abbott family arcs in years. From boardroom showdowns to private confrontations, the Abbott brothers' war ignites a storm that will leave viewers talking long after the week concludes. In conclusion, next week on The Young and the Restless, Jack Abbott's rage and Billy Abbott's daring defiance set the stage for an explosive family war that promises to redefine loyalties, expose secrets, and deliver unforgettable drama. It's a week of intense storytelling that showcases the power of betrayal, the complexity of family relationships, and the unstoppable force of ambition. Genoa City is about to witness an Abbott brothers showdown like no other, and viewers will be glued to their screens. The Newman Empire has always been defined by power, influence, and high-stakes risks. But Nick Newman has taken it to a whole new level this week on The Young and the Restless. In a twist that left Genoa City buzzing, Nick has made a bold, calculated move to secure Matt Clark, the man whose presence has stirred danger, desire, and deception in the lives of several key players. Matt Clark's return to Genoa City was already a ticking time bomb. The man has a history, one that includes lies, manipulation, and entanglements with the Newman family that no one should ever forget. From his ill-fated involvement with Summer to his confrontations with Nick and Victor, Matt's presence has always carried a whiff of trouble. And yet Nick, ever the strategist, seems determined to harness that chaos for his own advantage. The week began with Matt in an unsteady position. Despite his smooth talk and cunning charm, Matt had few allies left in the city. Summer's trust in him is fractured, Victor's patience is wearing thin, and the specter of past mistakes looms over him like a storm cloud. But Nick sees what others don't. Matt is a wild card with skills and insider knowledge that could tip the balance in Nick's favor, if handled correctly. And handling Matt Clark is anything but simple. Nick's plan is audacious. In a private boardroom meeting that had viewers on the edge of their seats, he approached Matt with an offer that was equal parts opportunity and challenge. The goal? To secure Matt's loyalty in exchange for a chance to rebuild his reputation and regain a foothold in Newman Enterprises' complicated world. It's a move that screams risk. Matt could easily betray Nick, or worse, use the opportunity to undermine him. Yet, Nick's gamble is rooted in his deep understanding of human behavior, especially in those who crave power and recognition. What makes this development even more thrilling is the emotional undercurrent. Nick isn't just maneuvering for corporate advantage. He's also navigating the volatile personal dynamics tied to Matt. Summer's skepticism is palpable, and it threatens to explode into confrontation at any moment. There's also the lingering presence of Phyllis and Chelsea, both of whom have intersecting histories with Matt and are watching Nick's moves with a mixture of caution and curiosity. Each decision Nick makes in this high-stakes chess game carries emotional as well as professional consequences, heightening the tension for everyone involved. Securing Matt Clark is not a simple transaction, it's a calculated dance. Nick understands that he must offer enough incentive to earn Matt's tentative allegiance, yet maintain enough control to prevent Matt from spinning out of control. This is where Nick's savvy comes into play. Rather than offering money or traditional power alone, he taps into Matt's deepest desire, validation. By acknowledging Matt's past missteps while framing a future where he can regain status, Nick is effectively playing on Matt's ego, turning potential adversary into temporary ally. Of course, no risky Newman move comes without potential fallout. Victor, ever the vigilant patriarch, has been observing the situation from the sidelines. He recognizes both the potential and the peril in Nick's strategy. In private, Victor has expressed concern, warning Nick that Matt's loyalty is tenuous at best. Nick, however, remains undeterred, confident in his ability to navigate the unpredictability that comes with someone like Matt. It's a testament to Nick's evolution as a leader. He's no longer just reacting to crises. He's proactively shaping the landscape, even when it involves dangerous gambles. Meanwhile, the ripple effects are already being felt across Genoa City. Summer's anxiety is intensifying, as she fears that Matt's resurgence could jeopardize her own standing and security. Chelsea has been quietly monitoring the situation, weighing whether Matt's involvement will protect or endanger the people she cares about. And in the shadows, there's always the possibility of old enemies taking advantage of the tension, creating a volatile mix that could explode at any moment. The city is alive with speculation. Is Matt truly on Nick's side, or is this alliance a ticking time bomb? The drama escalates further when Matt, in a rare moment of candor, reveals the price of his cooperation. It's not money. It's not a title. It's something far more personal, a measure of control and influence over decisions that affect his future. Nick, ever the risk-taker, accepts these terms, knowing full well the delicate balance he must maintain. In that acceptance lies the genius and danger of his plan. Nick is gambling on his own instincts, betting that he can manage Matt's ambitions without letting them spiral out of control. As the week progresses, viewers are treated to intense confrontations, subtle manipulations, and high-stakes negotiations. Nick's interactions with Matt are laced with tension, humor, and unpredictability. Every word matters. Every gesture is scrutinized. And every decision has consequences that could reverberate through Newman Enterprises for months to come. It's a masterclass in power dynamics, and Nick is at the center of it all, navigating a web of loyalty, ambition, and legacy with both daring and finesse. What makes this storyline so compelling is that it's not just about strategy, it's about character. Nick Newman is showing a side of himself that combines pragmatism with empathy, shrewdness with courage. He's stepping out of the long shadow of his father, making bold choices, and asserting control over a situation that could have easily gone in any direction. Matt Clark, with all his flaws and hidden agendas, becomes a mirror for Nick's own strengths and vulnerabilities. Together, they are a volatile pair, their alliance teetering on the edge of triumph and disaster. By the end of the week, the city is left on tenterhooks. Nick has secured Matt Clark, but at what cost? The alliance is fragile, the emotional stakes are sky-high, and the potential for betrayal is ever-present. Fans of the young and the restless are left guessing. Will Nick's gamble pay off? Or will Matt's ambition and past misdeeds bring the entire plan crashing down? One thing is certain, Genoa City will never be the same. Nick Newman's risky move to secure Matt Clark is more than just a plot twist. It's a defining moment for a character who continues to evolve under pressure. It's a daring gamble that combines strategic brilliance with emotional insight, leaving viewers captivated by every twist and turn. In a world where power is fleeting and loyalty is conditional, Nick's bold strategy could either solidify his dominance or become his undoing. And in Genoa City, the line between triumph and disaster is always razor-thin. As fans eagerly tune in, the question remains: did Nick Newman outsmart the game, or did he unknowingly unleash a storm he can't control? The coming weeks promise answers, confrontations, and perhaps the most explosive Newman power play we've seen in years. One thing is certain: Nick Newman has made a move that will reverberate through every corner of Genoa City, and the fallout promises to be unforgettable. The walls of Newman Enterprises seem to close in tighter than ever. Jack Abbott, chairman and powerhouse of the Abbott dynasty, paced the sleek boardroom with a tension that few had ever witnessed from the usually composed tycoon. Across from him, his nephew Kyle Newman shifted uncomfortably, his youthful optimism dampened by the weight of an ominous message that had just arrived, a warning that threatened to unravel everything they held dear. It had started innocuously enough. Kyle, in his usual mix of curiosity and concern, had noticed a series of unusual emails flooding Victor's inbox. Each one carried a cryptic line. The past is not buried. The reckoning is coming. Beware the ones you trust. At first, Kyle had dismissed it as one of Victor's many business threats, or a prank by a rival. But when the messages escalated, including physical notes left in places only the Abbott-Newman circle could access, he realized the danger was very real. Jack's sharp instincts had immediately kicked in. He wasn't about to let another Newman or Abbott business rivalry spiral into chaos. What unsettled him more than the messages themselves was the knowledge that Victor might already be aware of them. And if he wasn't saying a word. Jack had learned long ago that in Genoa City, silence often meant the storm was about to hit, and he refused to be blindsided. Kyle, Jack's voice was tight, precise, this isn't just a threat. Whoever sent this knows us, knows Newman Enterprises, and they're not bluffing. We need to figure out who's behind this before it's too late. Kyle, leaning against the polished mahogany table, ran his hand through his dark hair in frustration. I know, Uncle Jack, but where do we even start? Victor keeps everything so close. He won't admit if he's being threatened, and everyone else, they just gossip. We're on our own with this. Jack's eyes narrowed, a glint of the old Abbott fire igniting. Then we start with what we know. Patterns, timing, who benefits. This is Genoa City. Every threat has a motive, every whisper a reason. And I don't intend to let anyone play us for fools. The dangerous warning had an immediate impact on Kyle. He had always looked up to Jack, admired his uncle's decisiveness and resilience, but this threat was different. Unlike corporate maneuvering or family rivalries, this felt personal. Someone was targeting them directly. Kyle could feel the adrenaline spike in his veins, a mixture of fear and determination. He wasn't going to let Jack face this alone. Their investigation began quietly, almost stealthily. Kyle pored over recent business deals, rival company moves, and even social events that had taken place in the last few weeks. Jack, meanwhile, dug into past conflicts, family secrets, and grudges that might have lingered in the shadows. Together, they were a formidable duo, combining Jack's seasoned experience with Kyle's fresh insight. Then came the first major clue. A message slipped under Kyle's door at home, a black envelope, no return address, the words scrawled in a jagged hand. What you bury will rise. One misstep, and it will cost you more than money. Kyle's stomach dropped. The warning wasn't just a threat. It was a promise of chaos. And Jack's earlier suspicions were confirmed. This wasn't just business. It was personal. When Kyle brought the envelope to Jack, his uncle's reaction was a mix of fury and calculation. Someone's testing us, Jack said, his jaw tight. They want to see how we react. But we don't show fear. We respond with strategy. And we find out who's behind this before they make their next move. The following days were tense. Jack and Kyle moved like shadows through the corridors of Newman Enterprises, carefully monitoring employees, clients, and rivals alike. Every phone call, every whispered conversation was scrutinized. Even routine business meetings were under watchful eyes. The tension was palpable, leaving both men on edge, their nerves stretched tight as piano wires. Then an unexpected twist surfaced. During a late-night meeting in Jack's office, a familiar voice on the phone sent a chill down Kyle's spine. It was Summer Newman, frantic and breathless, warning them about a deal gone awry and a stranger she had spotted lurking near the Newman estate. "Jack. Cull. I don't know what's going on, but I think they're watching us." "Someone's coming for the family," she said, her voice quivering. Jack's response was immediate, commanding. "Summer, get to safety. Do not engage. Whoever this is, they can't know what we know. Keep your distance and stay alert." Cull felt the weight of responsibility pressing down. This wasn't just about corporate battles anymore. It was about protecting their family, their legacy, and perhaps even their lives. The Abbott and Newman clans were no strangers to drama, but the stakes had never felt so high. As the warning escalated, Jack and Kyle realized the danger was closer than they had imagined. Surveillance footage revealed a mysterious figure lingering near Newman's driveway at odd hours, vanishing before anyone could approach. And cryptic messages continued to arrive, each one more threatening than the last. Jack, never one to back down, convened a family meeting. Kyle stood beside him, tense but resolute. They explained the situation to Victor, Nikki, and other key members of the family, urging vigilance and unity. While some dismissed it as a hoax, Jack and Kyle knew better. Danger doesn't announce itself with fanfare. It lurks, silent and patient, striking when the target least expects it. In a dramatic confrontation, Jack and Kyle decided to turn the tables. Using a combination of stealth, insight, and sheer courage, they planned to lure the mysterious antagonist into the open. It was a gamble, risky and fraught with peril, but both men understood that waiting passively was no longer an option. The night of the planned confrontation was tense. Shadows danced across the Abbott mansion as Jack and Kyle, hearts pounding, monitored the estate. Every creak of the floorboards, every rustle of leaves outside felt like a potential threat. And then, the figure appeared, cloaked in darkness, intent unmistakable. Jack stepped forward, voice firm, eyes blazing with authority. "We know you're there. Whatever you think you're hiding, whatever plan you have, it ends now. You've underestimated us for the last time." Kyle, standing beside his uncle, added, "This isn't just about threats. This is about family. You don't mess with Newman or Abbott blood and get away with it." The tension reached a fever pitch. The stranger paused, assessing, and for a moment, the entire world seemed to hold its breath. And then, with a deliberate step forward, the shadow revealed a shocking identity. Someone no one had expected, someone whose motives were tangled in betrayal, greed, and revenge. In that instant, Jack and Kyle knew the battle was far from over. But for the first time, they felt a surge of control amidst the chaos. The warning had been dangerous, yes, but it had also forced them to confront the vulnerabilities, to protect the people and legacy they loved most. And as the first rays of dawn crept over Genoa City, Jack and Kyle stood united, ready to face whatever storm the Newman-Abbott saga would throw their way next. In Genoa City, danger was never far, but courage, loyalty, and a sharp mind often proved stronger than the threats lurking in the shadows. And Jack and Kyle had just proven that some warnings, no matter how dangerous, could be met head-on together.